Okay, so welcome back, guys. Another trade recap to add into the journal and for you guys. So this trade was taken on the 20th, which was Wednesday, and it was a PM session trade. I do trade two sessions, which is New York AM and New York PM, as I trade the 10 AM candle and the 2 PM candle, which is the 4-hour open low high close or open high low close. So we'll start on the daily time frame. Clearly, still bearish as we have been for the past, well, for this week. We have come down and swept these lows in the AM session and had a very, very large SMT, or very influential SMT with AS. So I was anticipating that we would see a potential reversal here, but I'll go down to the lower time frame just so I can further confirm this bias. So now, as my main draw for today was this 4-hour gap, this sell side, and then we did come down and tap into this discounted 4-hour gap. So clearly we didn't really have many more draws lower apart from this sell side, which was quite a strong draw as we have relative equal lows along here. But I didn't really have that in mind in the PM session, as you can see, we have had such a good reversal from these draws. However, we did tap into this consequent encroachment of this 1-hour gap, so I was a bit cautious of buys, but again, I needed a lot of confirmations and I was anticipating this to be the market maker buy model side of the curve, as we can see, clearly respecting gaps that are being formed on the 15 as well as the 5-minute. Clear, nice signs of reversal and also inversing these gaps. So coming into PM session, I got on the charts at about 10 to 2, as I usually do. I saw this accumulation range start to form, and we manipulated here, swept these highs, and continued lower. But my rules do specify I cannot take a trade before 2 p.m, so I did not take this trade, although it would have been quite a nice trade, into this 5-minute gap. But we can continue to watch price action now. Now the 2 p.m. candle has opened, and clearly I'm instantly dumping. This is where I thought my bias was going to flip bearish and we would continue lower now. However, we did have a lot of gaps down here, and I did think this was purely just a manipulation leg for us to continue higher. So moving on here, nice accumulation with a manipulation into this 5-minute gap. This, I could have taken this trade, but I didn't for some reason, as I wasn't really confident, as no inversions. This small inversion here, and I could have taken this change in state of delivery, but again, not very good price action here as we did continue to chop around. So now we had tapped into this gap, which was unfilled and had been unfilled. So I was again anticipating this to be the smart money reversal point of interest. But again, I needed more confirmation. And I did think this was a market maker model due to us having an accumulation, manipulation, and then sell side of the curve with various reaccumulation legs before manipulating higher and then coming down to sweep into our POI. Again, watch price play out, respecting this bullish gap that had been formed, and now we had pretty good delivery I would have been confident in taking an inversion here just because delivery was so nice. But again, we didn't quite get that inversion and instead saw a reaccumulation leg here. So by this time, we'd also made a new 5-minute gap. Does this want to work or not? Alright. Clearly doesn't want to work, but you get the idea. Gap here. Alright. Bit stupid, but I have to do it manually. Okay, so now what I was looking for price to do is to now, that we've reaccumulated, to come down here and tap into this gap. Which we do very nicely. And additionally, this was in a macro. And what macro had been doing, what I've observed is the start of the macro will come down and manipulate, and then after that, it will distribute. So I'll look on the 5-minute, did tap into this gap, and we also had SMT with ES, as I never came down to tap into this gap. So going back to NQ, this was a very, very clear entry for me. I didn't really need any more confirmations. I would have liked a change in state of delivery, but we didn't quite get one. So, but I was really happy with how we had rejected that and formed that. So I did enter off this 1-minute inversion with stops being just below that wick. Break even being here. First take profit here. And then my final take profit was this discounted 15-minute gap. So we can watch this trade play out. Would have gone break even by now. And then first take profit, I would have trimmed. And then second take profit. I trimmed about 60% of my position here just because price was just so close to here. And then I trimmed the other 40% up here for an average of a 3.5R, which is quite good, especially in this short amount of time. Clearly very good delivery, barely into drawdown. I would probably rate this setup an A, just due to the fact that there wasn't a very good accumulation leg, but this trade was very logical and it did make a lot of sense to me, as well as we had this SMT and we were clearly in a market maker buy model, not just on this lower time frame, but also on this higher time frame. This was again just a reaccumulation with a manipulation, and then we continued higher. Does show slightly a bit better on the 5-minute, but as you can see, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So yeah, overall a very good trade. And yeah, thanks for watching.